this part of the question appear to be calculus? Well, it is because we have a derivative. However, really what that question is about algebra. Okay, let's see. The height of a different plan can be modeled by the function p, where x is again the number of days after the plan starts to grow. The derivative of this function is, so here we have a derivative of the function. Basically, we have a function. What kind of function is that? Quadratic function. How do we know? Because x to the power of 2. So what do we need to do? We need to find the range of values of x. So x is what am I looking for? So what did they tell me about y? They said when y is greater than 24. So really this is inequality with quadratic equation. Okay, so let's write it down. So 1.1 plus 2.73x minus 0.078 x to the power of 2, and all of that is greater than 24. So how do we solve it? Well, how do we solve? Once we have a letter to the power of 2, what do we think about? Minus b formula, and the same here. But in order for us to use minus b formula, I need to have everything on one side of the equation. So that 24 has to cross over to the other side, therefore change the sign, will become minus 24. And now that I have nothing left over, I have 0 on the other side of the equation. Okay, so let's just write that in order. The reason why we write that in order, so that we don't confuse what is A, B, and C when we are using minus b formula. And then our number 1.1 minus 24, when we put that in the calculator and press equal, we get minus 22.9, and that still is greater than 0. Okay, so now minus b formula, value of a number that stand beside x to the power of 2, value of b number that stand beside x with no power, and value of c number at the end that has no x beside it. Okay, so minus value of b 2.78 plus minus again b 2.7. Oh, that's not 8, that's 3. My apologies. I'm looking 3, but my brain is saying 8 and writing 8. So 3, 2.73, and that is taken to the power of 2 minus 4 multiplied by value of a minus 0.078 multiplied by c, which is minus 22.9. All of that under the square root, and all that is on top of the fraction that is divided by 2 multiplied by a, which is minus 0.078. And we put all of that in our calculator, and we get two values of x. One value of x, 13.9, and the second value of x, 2105. Now, is that the answer to our question? The question was saying find the range. So when the question is saying find the range, that means it will be x greater or equal a specific number, isn't it? So how do we find it? What is that we just calculated? We found the roots of this quadratic equation, isn't it? Now, what are we told here from our equation is that all of that equation, so the value of this function, value of the function is the value of y, so the value of y have to be greater than 0. That means what? Has to be positive. Now, in order for us to figure out which value of this function, which value of y are going to be positive, we need small graph. So we have 2 points where our graph will cut the x-axis. We just found those roots, 13.9 and 21.05. Now, quadratic equation parabola goes up or goes down depending on what value of a. If value of a, meaning that number that stands beside x to the power of 2 is negative, the parabola goes down. But if that value is positive, it goes up. In our case, it's negative, so our graph will go down. Now, when you are looking at this graph, let's say here is the y-axis, which part of the graph is going to have positive values of y. So all those points here that are above x-axis, all those points are going to have, the coordinates will have a positive value of y. Therefore, that's the one we are looking for. So it is for the x that is between 13.9 and 21.05, and that's what we are writing for. So x is greater than 13.9 and x is less than 21.05. Now the terms and conditions are saying give your answer, give your value correct to the nearest whole number. So that means x is greater than 14 and x is less than 22. Now, let's not forget that in this case, we can actually say x is greater or equal 14, because 14 will fulfill the condition of being greater than 13.9. And following the same logic here, that x have to be less than 22. But it cannot equal 22. So what is that we're going to say? X can be less or equal 21, isn't it? So that fulfills the terms and condition of our answer.